Bitcoin is real. Bitcoin is the world's most secure network. Okay, if you're in a country and you're looking at 70% inflation, maybe don't listen to them when they say Bitcoin's a scam. All right, let's move on here. Bitcoin Magazine, baby. Since the end of the Second World War, U.S. has consistently been the dominant global superpower. Soviet Union vied for superiority during the Cold War, but ultimately failed as it lost control of its satellite states. This was evident when the Berlin Wall came down in 1989. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. That was my impression of the famous California actor. In case you haven't been paying attention, the world is undergoing a major paradigm shift with BRICS at the center. Banks across the world are failing. Saudi Arabia and Iran are negotiating historic peace talks, and countries are beginning to deviate from the US dollar as the world reserve currency. Phase 1. From USD to gold. Most people have no idea that this is even happening, but we are already in the early stages of phase 1 and the creation of a multipolar world, South and North. In the 70s, under Nixon, Saudi Arabia agreed to price its oil in US dollars in exchange for military defense. That happens to these days. Rather than holding US debt as an asset, they've been increasing their gold reserves. India, too, is amassing a stockpile of gold. It appears that the BRIC nations are working towards returning to a gold standard. The rest of the world, particularly in the West, will continue to function as they have since the 70s. Many countries will still be forced to hold US dollars to purchase oil. American debt, equities, and real estate will continue to serve as a store of value for most citizens. And fiat currencies, particularly the US dollar, will serve as the dominant units of account. I predict that this first phase will last no longer than 20 more years. Then we got phase 2. It's the beginning of a new era. This is when there will be no other choice but to switch to a fundamentally different monetary system, probably because we're just printing at such an excessive rate. You don't want to hold something that's just losing 10, 20% of its value every single year. Phase 3, that's the Bitcoin phase. Hyperbitcoinization, the third and final phase, is less complicated. Most of the world will already have transitioned to a Bitcoin standard. Now, this is our bull case scenario. Even if most of my predictions are incorrect, we are in desperate need of a return to a sound money system there. All right, U.S. presidential candidate opposes Fed's CBDC plans, says it will pave way for banning and seizing Bitcoin. I love that we don't know if this is a left candidate or a right candidate. Are we talking JFK or are we talking DeSantis? It is, I say JFK, RFK, Robert F. Kennedy, recently announced that he is running in the 2024 presidential campaign as a Democrat, says that the government's plan for a CBDC grease the slippery slope to financial slavery and political tyranny. I would 100% agree. It goes on to say that the CBDC would eventually pave the way for the state to start banning and seizing Bitcoin, just like they did with gold in the 1930s. The Fed Reserve currently has plans to release Fed Now, its CBDC service, in July, just in time for my birthday. Looking forward to that. So if you guys want to give me a bunch of CBDCs, I will spend it within my time allotment, and I won't do anything. I'll support the current thing, folks. Oh, can't do that hand.
I did zoomed in right there.
Yeah, well, my hand was out of it. You guys didn't see. I was throwing up the peace sign, folks. I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook, okay? I'm not a crook. That's all. It was just, look, it's an Easter reference, y'all. It's an Easter reference. Get with the program, folks.
Right. It's funny.
All right. All right. Cardano. Where are my Cardano people at? Cardano, where's the ADA gang, Cardano community, whatever you want to call yourselves, might get a new AI focus. Charles Hoskinson drops a hint here, seen here, about to drop a mic. The Charles Hoskinson, founder and CEO of Input Output, not the CEO of Cardano or ADA, the blockchain startup in charge of the ADA protocol, has hinted at what might be the new focus for the proof of stake network. Taken to his official Twitter account, he shared a video of YouTuber Vinay Prasad, a medical doctor, on how ChatGPT could revolutionize the world of medicine. We keep scrolling. Here's him sharing the video. Here's a video on how ChatGPT will change medicine. Basically, it can give out really, really good diagnoses. Innovating in the AI space has no bounds, and it will come as no surprise Charles Hoskinson leads the Cardano team to find common ground with respect to forming functional partnerships with development teams. Additionally, he may also be fueling or backing the development of dApps that could leverage technology underpinning ChatGPT, dubbed large language models or LLMs. Super chat, is Bitcoin going to the top? Will it drop down again? Rewind, Frankie breaks down really, really great scenarios, some of the next levels, and what he's thinking about when it comes to navigating. Although I'll bet dollars to donuts that we will reach a new all-time high, but probably, not this year. I would say closer to 24, 25. 45th NFT collection isn't talked about. We've talked about it here many a time, and we covered it on ATB as well. And so, yeah, we did a big episode the day it came out. So, yeah, go check it out. Yeah, we've mentioned it more than once. All right, Cardano is well positioned as a technology to harbor any form of innovation underpinning ChatGPT tech. While many of its core functionalities are still being developed, the protocol, its founder, and its community are committed to diversity. And with the new clamor for AI integration, we are bound to see many more unique innovations in the near future. I've told you guys I'm staking AGIX on MinSwap, and so I believe in Cardano. I believe in AI as both of those as a macro investment, macro narrative. And so I got to set it and forget it. I'm staking on there. I'm just earning some MinSwap rewards. So I'm trying to put my money to work for me as I sleep here.
Some of the opinions that I try to share are the cypherpunk mentality of cryptocurrency, and I'm trying to keep not just me solely, but I'm trying to help keep that ethos alive.
All right, now we're going to get into Rate This Niche, but are you going to do any live content at Bitcoin Miami?
Probably.
Okay, we'd love to see it. Love to see it. I wish I was out there, man. I would do a video with you. You want to give one more shout out? Where can they find your channel? What's your Twitter at?
They can find me at RiceTVX, and my website is ricetvx.com, and there you will find links to both of my YouTube channels, RiceTVX and Rice Against the Grain.
Look at that.
So this is where they were protesting, 2 years later, basically, right?
Yep.
Wow. So no, everything wasn't fine.
Yeah, it looks like they had their own little, you know what I'm talking about, 6. And then look at this. Look at this rate. Sri Lanka, this is from September of 22. Sri Lanka, inflation rate jumps to 70% in August. So they know what's happening. They see the train barreling down the tracks. And what do they say? Bitcoin is risky. Stay in money. You don't want that. You don't want that. Clearly, that was the best thing for their citizens. They were lying to you. They were lying to keep people in their S-coin. Okay, they didn't want you porting over to something safe. They didn't want you to be able to escape this country. And I'm assuming it's probably not a great time when there's 70% inflation. I'm assuming those grocery stores, it isn't exactly orderly. It isn't Publix on a Tuesday at 2 p.m. Okay, it's probably the worst Walmart Black Friday you've ever seen, but with empty shelves and everybody fighting for 2 cans of beans.
Well,
okay.
And it goes to show, when the citizens were starting to get wise that there was issues there, and they were trying to do things to take action to protect themselves and prepare themselves for what was coming economic peril. The government there told them, no, you do not need to be taking any of these actions. You don't need to. This stuff that you're doing to protect yourself is actually very bad for you, and pushed very hard to convince them not to do it. And it's very similar, I feel like, to what we're seeing here in the United States, where people are starting to wake up to the problems that are out there. And the more we try to take actions to protect ourselves, the more they're saying, no, crypto is bad, DeFi is bad, any crypto exchange is very, very bad. Unless it's, government regulated, you're going to have a bad time, when in reality, the things that are government regulated is what's falling short.
No, it's all fake. They're all lying to you. And they really they want the monopoly of the dollar and the banks to be in control of that. And then what they want to do is they want to sneak in that CBDC. They're going to say, Bitcoin's scary. Stay away from Bitcoin. But we're going to airdrop you $100 free or $300 free. And this is the coin. This is real. This has, they'll say the dollar backed by it, but people will think it's like backed by gold or something. Really, it's just backed by guns. But Bitcoin is real. Bitcoin is the world's most secure network. Okay. If you're in a country and you're looking at 70% inflation, maybe don't listen to them when they say Bitcoin's a scam. And if you're in a country and you think they're lying to you about their data, kind of like America, maybe again, don't listen to them when they say Bitcoin's a scam and stay away.
Well, I'm sure the Sri Lankan people aren't going to listen to a central bank anymore. And I'm hoping that with everything that's been transpiring over the past few years, that if this was to ever happen again, that the people would be smart and wake up and realize that banks and governments today do not have the best interest of the people.
Correct. Yeah, they do not have your interest in mind.